This podcast is powered by The Plug.
We got a special episode for you guys tonight. It's going to be mostly wrestling. We got Hank in the building. Welcome.
Thank you.
We got the Puerto Rican Poppy. I'm not going to call you that, so.
Wow.
I don't
You just said it.
Gotta throw the race card in.
Because that's
You
what he
just
always
said
says.
Burn this
Just
nigga
said
down.
Throw me a poppy.
See? That's his name.
I'm gonna Puerto
Damn it.
I'm gonna call him Slap Ass.
It's my first. It's my first podcast.
Slap ass.
Oh no, that's Dominican.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was. He
That's
was
so
Dominican.
racist of you.
Hey,
Thank
what?
We get pretty
He
racist
said
here.
thank you.
yeah, thank you for that.
All the
It
time.
does get
Yeah.
racist.
Pretty-
every
It
now
was
and then.
That's okay.
100%.
Sometimes racism's funny.
Stone Cold is here right
Benefit of
now.
being an American.
The Rock is also in Denver right now.
Really?
Give me a hell yeah. I did it
Hell
2
yeah.
days.
We have lots of rocks here.
What?
I like rocks.
Hey, since we're talking about wrestling, can I ask a
Some
question?
bulbous.
Yes.
Can I ask a question? So I grew up, I'm 32. I grew up in the Attitude Era. So I haven't followed wrestling in a while, but somebody told me the other day that Roman Reigns is Rock's cousin. And
They're all related.
And Rikishi was his cousin too?
They're all
That was
related.
which.
I
that was
think
another topic.
Rikishi is his uncle.
That's one.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then
Did he die? Is it true? Did he die? They said he
I
died
think
of
he's
heart
still.
failure.
No, still living.
Rikishi's still alive.
They said he died of heart failure.
Nah, it's Roman Reigns' pops.
He's still.
That
Rikishi's
died.
wrong.
Rikishi.
No, I
that's
mean,
his uncle.
Are we
Rikishi
positive
smashed.
Rikishi's alive? There's a lot of
Yeah.
deaths.
Can somebody pull it up on their phone?
Are we
Yeah,
100%
we
positive?
hear about it.
I just heard about it the other day. They said Rikishi
Are you thinking of
died.
Umaga?
Umaga did
That's
die.
their uncle.
He
Yeah.
did die though. Umaga.
Yeah.
I wanted to say
yeah,
that.
he,
They're all
That's
related.
who.
So I told them I bought the new wrestling game 2K23, and in the game Rikishi has a scar from his belly button going up, like he had some kind of like stomach surgery. But they said he died. And I just wanted to.
No, he's still alive.
nah, he's still alive.
Don't you ever put that evil out there,
Yeah,
Ricky.
because
I would never.
So I believe Rikishi is the Usos' father.
Yes.
Is that how it
The twins and
Yeah.
The, niggas
The
Spike.
twins and Roman Reigns' pops, his
They're
what's his name?
They're like all related though.
Yeah, but and it's all like from the same tribe.
Every Samoan that's
But
in
does
wrestling is
anybody
related.
here watch the new wrestling?
Not as much.
No, that's
watch
why I was gonna put a
AEW.
disclaimer on this. We're basically doing from the 80s to like 2001,
The end of the Attitude Era.
when wrestling was
When
good.
John
so,
Cena came.
so it'll be
When wrestling was good.
it'll be the golden era, the new gen, and attitude era.
Period.
So
And
is
we
John
should-
Cena the cutoff?
I was
Yes.
gonna say,
Yes.
we should be.
That's the cutoff.
We should still be able to like dip into. The
There's some.
ruthless
We can
aggression.
do whatever we
Well,
want.
'cause there's like the Rise Edge, and you gotta acknowledge rated R.
There was some
Rated
good
R
in-ring
superstar.
performers during the
Y2J.
aggression era.
The women are good now.
Shelton Benjamin,
They
he was
always
dope
are.
in the ring.
G. Still a G.
I remember
actually.
his first performance when
Lita
he
was
came out. Him and that
ass.
other. What was the dude that he
China.
was with? That they came out and performed together. The other wrestler. He was
Oh,
a
it's
white
tag
guy.
team.
The white guy. What was his name? Does anybody remember his name? He was Shelton Benjamin's partner, and they were under Team.
And they were
Angle.
hella good.
They were under Team Angle.
Yeah.
Oh.
What was his name though?
Oh, man.
We're giving props though.
Because he disappeared. He just.
Yeah,
That's when I know I probably shouldn't say it, but Chris Benoit was killing it.
great.
Shouldn't say killing it, but
he was definitely on top.
Wow.
we're gonna skip past that.
Wow.
I
Well,
think-
maybe allegedly.
I think my favorite of all.
No. He was convicted.
Yeah,
I think my favorite of all time playing in the game recently was Eddie Guerrero.
I was just gonna bring him up
Greatest.
too.
Eddie,
R.I.P.
Chris Jericho was killing it.
we lie, we
Yeah.
cheat, and we steal.
pretty much the new rap type thing was taken over. Well, except for Dean Malenko.
Oh my God, I haven't heard
Yeah,
that name in
that
so
was
long.
like their big time because I think, Chris Benoit, he like won that Royal Rumble from like the coveted #1 spot.
Yo.
Just like Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. I think that's around sometime around there. That's Eddie Guerrero. I think beat what was that? Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
think.
Yep. He did beat him for the
With
title.
the rip
Yeah.
peck, baby.
Yep.
For the title. And Eddie, I think I don't know if it's true, but I heard he had cardiac arrest in the ring.
He died, boo, and then he pinned
But it
him while he
wasn't
was
in the
dead.
It was in the locker room.
But they said he had cardiac arrest in the match. They said
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. Once again, that just brings you around to is cocaine is a hell of a drug.
I mean, add steroids in there too.
Cocktails.
Dude, do you guys remember how big and yoked them dudes were? Like,
Oh, yeah, it's
everybody
crazy.
was huge, bro, coming outside.
Well,
They were getting whatever they wanted.
I
yeah.
remember WCW Nitro and Buff Bam Bigelow and all the dudes.
Bam,
I'm
bam.
pretty sure they didn't test for steroids.
At all.
They probably
Vince McMahon
encouraged
said
it.
Vince McMahon said they never tested for that stuff.
Then they did the steroid trial.
Steroid trial.
It was Charlie Haas.
They had a steroid trial.
Well, yeah,
I think
that
that
was after the plane ride, right?
And
Plane
Brock
ride from
Lesnar.
hell.
Yeah.
That was,
yeah,
there was
but
that
I think
too.
Undertaker was probably the only one that wasn't on that shit. He stayed the same, his physique, everything.
But he was a
Well, he was huge.
nimble
He was
guy.
still pretty big.
But he was in the
regardless.
era when everybody like British Bulldog and all. British
big as
Bulldog was
shit.
huge.
Oh, yo,
dude.
British
He was a nimble
Bulldog.
Dude, that guy
was
came
nuts.
out, and if you looked at
That
like
fucking
remember Scott
shoulder,
Steiner?
nigga.
Yeah, remember Scott Steiner?
Big Papa
Big
Pump.
Papa Pump.
Oh,
That
yeah.
that dude's
I'll
pecs
lift you.
spoke.
Guy
like me.
They spoke when he flexed. Like,
33 and a third percent chance.
chance of beating a guy like me.
I mean, dude, like,
Didn't me myself.
You got a 33 and a third chance of winning. But I got a 66 and 2/3 chance of winning.
we're not even.
Because
hitting,
I'm a
like,
freak of nature.
Dude, we're not even like hitting the big guys though, dude. We gotta like let's throw Lex Luger in
Lex.
there.
Oh,
Hulk
Khali.
Hogan himself.
Great Khali.
Back in the day, who was it? Don Morocco and the other
British
dude before
Bulldog.
Hogan
Which
that
one?
just passed
Dude,
too.
hell, Macho Man, Ultimate Warrior. I guess we're
Ultimate
gonna-
Warrior.
But do you guys remember my favorite of all time, even though he never had like a cool signature like finisher, was Bret the Hitman Hart.
Oh,
He
yeah.
had the sharpshooter.
He's like the
bro.
Iron
I
Man
was gonna say,
too.
the sharpshooter is one of like. The
Yeah.
But it
legendary finishers.
wasn't like how these other wrestlers are. They have like this crazy choke slam or power bomb.
Nah,
It's not like
He
a
but
didn't
see,
have
though,
that.
but see, though, the sharpshooter and like the figure four, they didn't really need to be fancy. They was just torturing moves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the whole glam in it. It was make my opponent cry. That's what
Rick,
it
I
was.
used to. I remember Ric Flair.
Lion
He used to-
Tamer.
Oh, bro,
Yes.
what?
Ric Flair.
Woo! Wheeling, dealing. I've spilled more. I spent more money on spilled
Okay,
liquor.
I'll tell you. I'll tell y'all this. Do you know what my favorite episode was? Do you guys remember the episode when The Rock came out, or those two French guys were about to attack Mick Foley, and Rock came out and he was talking. He was like, the only thing strong about the French army was their body odor. Do you guys remember that? He's like, it'll be two lips flapping around here, and we'll pick up your lips and make you kiss our American asses with it. Dude, that was like the heart. Like, dude,
He
their
was always
story
going
mode
in.
was like
Yeah.
unbelievable, and The Rock really carried that. And Dwayne Johnson,
Andy ass.
and Dwayne Johnson was just he was just something, bro. I remember watching with the what was that group he was in, the
Nation of Domination.
And remember the scene when he gave Farouk that picture of himself,
Oh,
and he gave the
man.
other guys a Rolex,
With a
and
signature.
Farouk
Yep.
lost it and started punching.
Dude, do you remember? So do you remember like the match later on? So Farouk was about to like hit somebody with a pitcher,
And The Rock grabbed it. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
so good.
We are the nation of domination. Yeah. And, dude, and he gave them all $15,000 Rolexes. And he gave Farouk a picture of himself. He goes, "Don't let your excitement get the best of you. It's me."
Hilarious.
It was crazy. Is they were all black, right? And The Rock, his father
But
was
then they
black.
had Owen Hart too. R.I.P.
Well,
For a little bit.
Yeah, with his
They had the token white guy.
Who was the other guy?
somebody go talk to the cops.
Who was the other guy in the Hearts? It wasn't Owen. It wasn't Brett. There was another guy.
Jim Neidhart.
Jim Neidhart.
Heart Foundation.
Yes.
Yep.
I used to, and they were the only ones wearing the pink and the black.
They even married in some crazy.
Remember that in OSW? They were like, and Jim Neidhart missed this pay-per-view because he was smoking crack.
Survivor Series. Dude, Do you remember that answered like a lifelong question for us? Because remember he was like on the cover, but he wasn't in the pay-per-view, and for years we wondered why. And it was like, oh, because one of our heroes was smoking crack. That's why we missed him.
What did you guys think about honestly? Like, and honestly, I'll ask one question. Who is your favorite like villain group in that era? Like, I used to love NWO.
Oh,
A lot of people say Evolution.
The Black and White or the Wolfpack?
I mean,
Well, Wolfpack was like face. Then.
right.
True.
I mean, a lot of people say DX.
DX, yeah.
You know, a lot of people.
We're
even-
talking stables, yeah, DX.
Let's say when WCW was bought out and ECW, you know, like who was your favorite? Because I hated Hogan as Hollywood Hogan. I couldn't stand him.
That was the point.
Man, you buster.
That's
Like,
why
you went from a people's champ to
kind of
bitch made.
I remember when Shawn Michaels took into NWO. It was such. Remember that pop when they brought Michael out? Shawn Michaels out.
Shawn
And he
Michaels
was
and
wearing
Sting.
the black and white. Oh
And Sting when he was in the rafters, and he's just staring down with the bat. Bro, that was the illest shit I've ever seen in my life,
part
bro.
Of any group? Honestly?
NWO.
Was he?
Wolfpack
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Wolfpack when he had the red face
black
paint.
and white.
with a really creepy goatee.
I don't remember.
Yeah. The just fucking the one piece.
Do you guys?
It's like,
did you
what
guys
the
Back in
ever?
the day,
Did
though,
you guys
had
ever?
the beach thing when he was the
Oh yeah, the
the
multicolored
beach
thing.
bum, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you guys ever watch the?
Underrated because he never went to the WWF.
He did
Yeah,
go
nah.
to WWE.
he
He
did.
popped
Briefly,
Up.
he
did,
didn't.
but
He
was-
didn't.
That must have been
He was
before I
mostly
Who was that was
WCW.
getting
though.
attacked? Randy Orton was getting attacked in the ring, and
But
the lights
Sting
went
came
black.
down.
Oh,
And
so
Sting came
recent,
out.
Not,
It was about maybe I
No,
wouldn't
it
say
was a while ago.
recent. Yeah, I would say like
I'm
10
old
years
as
ago.
shit. Like,
Yeah,
that's
no,
recent
it was
for me.
quite, yeah, because like I don't remember what he like got introduced. It was like a whole thing, and like the place went black, and then fucking his like
You knew it was him.
yeah, well no, it just
wasn't-
popped up because it was like a very well kept secret, I believe.
Yeah.
And then it just
But
like
did
And it
popped
just
up.
because they
Yeah.
kept
Because
they kept
sometimes
showing
they think
cameos of him at the end of the
No, that was
fucking
his, like, first bring
at the
to-
end of the broadcast. They would always fucking have cameos of him at the end of the
Red
broadcast.
and
They'd
black, red
have
and
like
blackface.
they had his fucking dressing room, remember? And then they'd open the fucking dressing room, nobody be in there.
I
It's
remember.
like what the
I
fuck?
miss, I miss,
You know what I'm saying? They would always do these fucking just
I
blank
miss the
scenes.
matches with Kurt Angle would come out, even when he got like manager.
Oh,
And he was Olympic champ, bro. He
With
was,
the
he was-
broken neck.
We know. You reminded us all
Fuck
fucking time.
integrity,
Broken neck.
intelligence, and I can't remember.
Intensity, integrity, and intelligence.
There it is. But you know what? Give Angle this though. He was one hell of a competitor, bro. Remember when John Cena made his debut and he came out there and he was like, "Anybody back want to challenge Kurt Angle?" And he came out there, he was wearing the red. And John Cena, nobody even heard of him at the time. And he came out there and he slapped the shit out of Kurt Angle.
Oh, that's right. He
If
did.
you're talking about debuts, though, I
02,
think Kane's
2002.
debut was one
with
of the
the
dopest ever.
the overall shorts.
Dude, I
Kane's
just found
debut.
out that
Wait,
he's not related to
Kane's. I remember Kane's.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember Kane's debut. I mean,
Yeah.
As,
when he wore the cape, when he actually for the first time wore the cape, yeah,
no, in the,
Yeah, the
in
cape.
the Hell in the Cell match.
Yep, there you go.
Oh,
Bad
that's
blood.
right.
Yeah, bad blood.
when they were Brothers of Destruction, though,
thought
they
they were
were
really
the
related.
shit, man.
One of the greatest build-ups.
Yeah, that tag team.
You know that guy
Duo.
died recently. There was the
Kane.
dad supposedly. What was his name? What was the
Paul
guy?
Bear?
The weird guy that was holding the thing.
Paul Bear.
Paul Bear. He was
That's not
supposedly their
very
dad. Well, they said he died like a couple years
Oh
back.
yeah, it's
been a while.
now.
How's it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
See,
That
I
dude just like out
He's
of the blue,
been
was
gone.
like, your brother's alive. It was like what?
do you guys
Yeah.
do you guys remember the match when Kane was when he took the mask off and everything and he was,
Oh
he
my
was in a
God.
match and then the flames came up and it was like his old music and it was like some guy just came out wearing a Kane outfit and it was like later they found out it was the Undertaker wearing his shit.
Yep,
You guys remember
yep,
that? And Kane
yep.
was confused like
Yep.
who is this dude? And he comes in, he choke slams him.
Yep.
His own
Oh my
I mean,
God.
his moves were
Was
down
that
to the.
Which one was that? WrestleMania?
No, it wasn't even a WrestleMania.
Or was that one of the
It was
shows?
a Raw. It was a Raw. It wasn't even. It was like No Way Out. I think they had it.
Oh, I thought
like,
you were talking about the one, yeah, when the
When he
ring was
wore-
on fire.
No, so where
That's not-
Kane? No,
Yeah.
Kane was having a match, right? This is like 2008 Kane when he had that crazy song.
Oh,
where he took
yeah,
the
yeah.
mask off, and then he was having a match, and then the flame just exploded, and a guy came out wearing his whole old school outfit with the mask. And he comes in
The
the ring,
black and
he
red.
grabs fucking Kane and he choke slams him, and then they had a match. Yep, right there. What year was that? Yeah, and
Yeah,
Kane was
2006,
confused.
yeah, fake
Later,
Kane.
they said it was Undertaker who
Fake
was
Kane, we've heard of this.
fake Kane. Yeah, that was actually pretty
He went
cool.
post Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is new. That's what I'm saying. This is a ruthless aggression.
Well, I don't want to go too new, but it's like, yeah, that was still
No,
part of
yeah.
that good era, though. You know what I mean?
We'll
Like,
still never have anything like the Attitude Era.
what do you guys think about?
There was like orgies in the ring.
What'd you guys think about
Oh, my
Lita
God.
getting
Van
Van Dam,
Edge.
though? Rob Van Dam.
That's actually what I'm saying, ruthless aggression era. That's the rated R superstar era. That's what I'm saying. You got to give some props to the ruthless aggression era.
The clothes matches.
RV.
You know what it was missing was the mic skills. There were
There was
more
less good
dudes in the golden era and attitude era. They had better mic skills. Cause you had Roddy Piper back in the day. You had Jake the Snake. You had Hawk from LOD.
Yes.
All dope on the mic.
Macho Man.
Yeah, Macho Man.
And later we had JBL and Jerry Lawler and Michael Cole and it's just
The Rock.
Well, and Attitude Era, Jericho was good on the mic.
Shawn
I
Michaels.
hated Chris Jericho.
Chris Jericho
good at his
did
job.
set his legacy. though,
Y2J
like,
was such a piece of shit.
Y2J was
That's what he wanted.
but he
That's
won
what he
titles,
wanted.
man.
Killed it.
He wanted
killed
to
it.
be the
But
piece of
Y2J
shit.
won titles, man.
Best intercontinental champion,
Yes.
in your opinion.
It's kind of like nobody talks about Steve Blackman anymore as being one of the best hardcore champions. Steve Blackman was a real life martial artist, and now he runs a bondsman out of Pennsylvania.
He won
Yeah.
it all for all, right?
Yeah, and he was a legit black
Locking
belt.
dudes
dude.
up
Yeah.
for doing stuff he used to do.
Dude, it's just like a lot of people talk shit about Eric Bischoff, but Eric Bischoff was a legit black belt.
Going back to why you hated Chris Jericho, though, he wanted you to hate him. That's
Yeah.
a
was
good
a
heel
heel.
move.
I hated hearing
Yeah.
his fucking.
That's how you know you're a good
Oh,
heel.
No, that's the Edge. That's Edge. That's
Oh,
Edge.
yeah, Edge
His
is-
was the count. His was the countdown, and he would hold his arms out, and it was like
I didn't like Edge. I didn't like Edge.
Wow.
when he hit Jeff
thought-
Hardy with
I
that
thought-
spear.
Edge was dope.
I thought Jericho was way better than Edge.
I was confused.
Jericho?
I'm
Yeah,
I'm
'cause-
still-
Do you mean Christian?
Because at a
even to
while,
this day,
'cause
I think Edge is the vampire.
yeah,
He is.
see, remember?
Who's that
That
vampire
motherfucker
dude?
looks like a
Because
fucking
he
vampire.
did play a vampire,
No,
didn't he?
who was that vampire?
Oh,
Who was the vampire that used
Am I
to walk
talking to
in with
myself over
the?
here?
Gangrel.
Who was the guy that used to walk in?
Gangrel.
Gangrel. He used to walk in with the cup.
Yeah.
He had the vampire.
Yeah,
With the
yeah.
blood.
But no, Edge for real.
He's like in real life.
Looks like a
Edge is
vampire. Yeah.
That is true. That
I
is true.
just really like Edge's Edge and Christian because I liked the
Edge
high
and
flyers.
Christian.
They
I
were
loved
tag
the
team
Oh, yeah, no,
champions.
that was super dope.
They were tag team.
Yeah.
They remember when they fought the Hardy Boys and Edge speared Jeff off the
Tables,
top of the
ladders, and
mountain.
chairs.
Oh my god.
That was insane, bro.
The flip that they used to do.
my
I used to do that shit all the time on the trampoline.
So that's a good segment. We'll do.
Yeah.
That's a good segment. We'll do the best like types of matches. So there was a TLC match.
tables.
You had the cage
Kindred
match.
Love
Then you
Affair.
had the Hell in the Cell. They did a buried alive match.
Elimination champ.
There's been a casket match,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
and then some wild shit. What was it? You said it was
Oh, the
Dustin Rhodes and Barry Darso
Oh, the
when they were fighting in like
in
the
back
hay
of
bales
semi.
in a moving truck.
Oh
What was
yeah.
the ambulance one? What was the ambulance one? Where you had to put him in the ambulance?
Oh, they
Remember
did
that
that in no, that was the
They did that one though.
That's very thoughtful though.
no. I was thinking of
Yeah.
SummerSlam.
Take him into the hospital.
Yeah, you kick their ass so
No,
hard.
no.
just
Do
throw
you
them in the
remember they
ambulance
would
and put
have
them
the
on the way.
ambulance parked there?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah.
You had to get him in the ambulance.
Oh, they've done it all.
I forgot what that one was called.
Yeah,
They
had
did the loser
stretchers.
does one night in jail
Oh,
match.
they had the stretchers all over the fucking
When
ring.
it was Big
or yeah,
Boss
they had
Man,
the one at the end of the ring or whatever.
Big Boss Man in the Mountie,
Yeah.
Big Boss Man. rest
and then
in
the
peace,
loser
too.
had to spend a night in the jail. Or
You know, Big Boss Man, I heard in real life was a cop. That's why his whole like character
Stick was a.
he was a police
Highway
officer in
patrol
real life
man.
from Georgia. He was from
He
Georgia.
had the haircut and the racism.
Well, he had the outfit of a SWAT, and he had everything. He was a real life.
One thing he
cop.
didn't have was the white hood and a cross.
After hours, bro. After hours.
I don't remember him doing anything racist
I don't
in
either.
wrestling. He called people boy.
They
That's
said Hulk Hogan was pretty racist.
That's pretty racist.
He called, but he called everyone boy.
Like
so.
if he could say the N word and not get in trouble for it, he probably would have.
You know who I missed?
Wow.
You know who I missed? I missed the APA with Farouk and Bradshaw before he became JBL. They
Before
remember they used to have all that
Jerry
beer. You would go
Yeah, they were hella
backstage,
cool.
And The Rock would go behind that door, and he's like, "Hey man, you missed the door." And he's like, "What door?" They had the beers all on the table. APA they were dope.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah, they were cool.
JBL turned into a bitch after that.
No, he turned into a corporate millionaire.
Dude.
A bitch.
Hold on, what were the other matches? There was more. Boiler room match.
Boiler Room Brawl. That's the I mean,
Last
last person with clothes on match.
Dude,
Yeah.
Slot match.
four
Yeah, the
fatal
pig
ways.
slot.
The fatal
So
ways.
what was that?
That's what I said. The clothes match.
Henry O. Godwin.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
dude,
the pig
randomly,
slot
I don't know
match.
who it was, but it was British Bulldog, and he wrestled somebody, and the loser had to eat like a can of dog food.
Wow.
Do you remember that?
Yep.
Yeah.
The kiss my ass match.
The Kiss My Ass match. Oh, dude.
Or the dumpsters match
Wait,
with
was that the one with
New Age Outlaws and Cactus Jack and Chainsaw
Wait,
Charlie?
I thought Kiss My Ass was the
R.I.P.
one.
Charlie.
Yep.
Was the one where The Rock made Vince. We put Vince's face in Rikishi's ass. I thought that was.
Yep.
Buried it.
Yep. It happened a couple times.
Buried it.
You remember
Oh
when
my God.
remember when Trump fought? Remember when the Battle of the Billionaires with
Yeah.
Trump and
Oh my
McMahon?
God. Yeah.
And whoever lost had to shave their head. I think it
So-
was.
So WrestleMania 4 and 5 was at Trump Plaza,
Yep.
Yep, sure.
and that was way back. So
Yeah. Dang.
And what's crazy, Mr. McMahon was a billionaire in like early '90s. Man, it was he was so successful. And then Shane McMahon bought WCW. and
he
ECW.
monopolized wrestling because the territories just got bought out. He just took all the best wrestlers from every territory
I'm gonna take your best.
and then just made the WWE.
Do you guys remember the match when the WCW was attacking the WWF, and then Stone Cold came out there and just started stunning everybody?
Oh my God.
Oh my God! It was like the biggest pop when you heard the glass shatter. Everybody was like,
Yo.
"Dude, I was a kid. I was like, fuck WCW." I was like, "Stun that motherfucker!" He was stunning. And then Jim, what was his name? Jim Ross. Oh goddamn, Stone Cold did everything that
He just killed him.
Dude,
He just killed him.
They were, man, they just like, the announcers pumped it up.
It looks like a damn car wreck in there.
The rattlesnake!
You don't have to do this, Mick.
I'm gonna stop the damn match.
Do you guys remember when?
He's smiling.
Do you guys remember when Stone Cold Unscripted did his first stunner on Mr. McMahon? I appreciate that you care about me. Matter of fact, you kissed my ass. He stunned Mr. McMahon. Everybody went. And he came out with the beer truck like
Nobody
the week
was
later.
safe. Yeah, nobody was
Dude,
safe.
When he started,
Everybody's wanted to do that to their boss. Like,
Oh my God.
and Stone Cold did it.
That's why it was a good storyline.
And Stone Cold,
best.
when he sprayed everybody with beer, that was the craziest.
Oh man.
The beer truck. The beer truck. and
All
the
right, yeah,
Kurt
let's
Angle
do some
champion.
storylines, either good or bad.
What was the worst
So
storyline?
bad storyline.
I didn't like what they
Triple
did
H and,
with Eddie Guerrero and his son not being Rey Mysterio's son not being his. It's Eddie's kid. I didn't like.
Oh, the fight for.
yeah,
the kid.
I didn't
yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
That was tasty.
Dude, there was
Some
oh,
Jerry
man.
Springer shit on
That was
there.
some
wow.
class bullshit. I didn't like.
There was that one. I think, dude, it was like Goldust against somebody. I don't know, but somebody like gave their like wife away for like a week or something.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Wow.
It was Goldust.
I think
Was that? It was like
Yeah,
Goldust,
he
like
gave-
Venus maybe or
Yeah,
something.
yes,
I think,
yes.
I think my favorite was when it was the Americans against the Canadians that were wearing the un-American. I think it was Test, William Regal, and they were trying to burn the
I
American
remember
flag,
that
and
shit.
Kane came out and he fucking lost it. And it was they were wearing shirts saying un-American, and the
Un-American.
flag was like flipped upside down. It was like disrespectful.
Fuck Canada.
fuck you, buddy.
And
I hated the fucking Triple H and what's that bitch's name when them the motherfuckers
China?
got married.
China.
Nah, McMahon. Yeah, Stephanie.
Stephanie.
And then when she
That was
got
his
off.
greatest business move of
Oh
all
my
time.
God.
Yeah,
It
well,
was ending
That was the
good.
And then
most
she
hunted
went
thing.
nuts with her brother, and then the brother went
Shane.
fucking stupid.
Yep.
That's
And
the
he
Travis
was-
Kelsey argument right
And
now.
he had a.
I hated the. I hated the
Just had to throw that
Linda.
out there.
I hated the Linda McMahon like comatose zombie
Yeah.
storyline that they did. That was god awful.
Pretty much any like storyline kind of involving siblings is bad because I mean let's not forget when Triple H married a fucking drugged and passed out Stephanie McMahon. in the
Yeah.
drive-thru.
Yeah.
And they honored it Like that's cool.
Wow.
Is she conscious? No, that's cool. Hey, dude, this guy's getting married to this fucking pet garage.
Yeah,
I think my
Someone
favorite.
get him a ticket.
I think my favorite. My favorite was SEC. Do you guys remember the match when Stone Cold fought Shane McMahon and Vince for the ownership of the company, and he was like throwing them through all the ladders and shit? He was fucking them up. It was Stone Cold against Vince and Shane, and it was battling. And they had to climb the ladder and get the briefcase.
Wait.
for the ownership.
Whose car did The Rock fuck up? Was it McMahon's Corvette?
Which
There was a
No,
lot of
that was
cars that got.
Austin.
Which
He
Austin?
wore the concrete.
That's
He wore
right,
the
that's right.
concrete in his brand new Corvette.
Yo.
He also ran over someone's car in a fucking monster truck.
Yes.
One of them had like, dude,
That
I
also
remember it was
happened.
great. It was either The Rock,
It was
or
in
like
one of the
Vince,
trunks.
like Stone Cold might have messed it up, but like they were trying to pass off like an old ass like Lincoln, like a really nice car. I was like, this is ridiculous.
Nah,
Like,
you-
I wouldn't.
You got
That's like a $2,000 car in a bad
Anytime they blew up Vince McMahon, that was a great show.
What?
Anytime they blew up Vince McMahon, that was a great show.
I remember when Stone Cold ran his ATV on top of the limo and Vince was riding in it.
Oh yeah.
Dude, Stone Cold was dude, there was nobody like Stone Cold. His pops, everything. People loved him, bro.
LOD's pops
He
were
flipped
ridiculous,
everybody
too.
off.
Yo.
I mean, what did his vest say? Alcohol fueled.
Yep.
He was
Said, "Hell yeah."
crazy.
Here we go. Here's a question:
yeah.
Would Stone Cold be Stone Cold without that Vince McMahon feud?
No.
Ooh.
No.
I mean,
Because if you
that's a
think about-
bonus, but he was
No,
already
hold on, I would
still.
say
But
no.
at the same time, like if you
He was already around.
Hold on,
No,
hold on,
that's
hold
a
on.
bonus.
If you think about it though, like what propelled him, like his,
Yes.
in terms of wrestling, is
Correct.
like
Was
relatability.
him slapping fucking
Exactly.
Yeah,
Vince
so-
McMahon.
That's what I'm saying. So relatability in that would be who here has not wanted to punch their boss in the
Oh, that's a great
I wanted
storyline.
to punch my boss
And he
today
got
when
to
I
do
seen
it
him.
every
allegedly?
No, that's a great storyline. That's why.
I
That's one
wanted
of
to hit him
the.
with the Narcan today.
That's why that's one of the best
and The
rivals.
Rock.
One of the best rivals ever.
But The Rock was with Vince
They
in
were
them
both
at that time.
anti-heroes, though, bro. Who could
How?
take a better Stone Cold
That's-
Stunner?
How was The Rock?
No,
he
he
was,
sold
he
it
was
like
part of
that.
the
Not
corporation.
even a debate. Not even a
you're
debate.
He sold it
Was
to
The Rock
where
not
it
with the
wasn't even
corporation?
believable.
Yeah,
You're
Corporate
proving
Rock.
my point.
Corporate
That's-
Rock sold out. He was
You're
with
proving
Vince.
my point.
Without to answer his question, no. Without Vince, Stone Cold would not be, because the beer thing, the ATV, the monster truck, the Corvette, everything was because of Vince.
Hold on, 1 second. That's a bonus, but he started the Attitude Era
Yep.
before that. After he beat Jake the Snake and was it King of the Ring?
Yeah, Austin 316.
Yeah,
Oh,
then,
yeah.
yeah,
Usher
that's
did
when
a
it
new era
started.
from the
When he
Bible.
did that dope ass promo. Then he had the feud with Bret Hart. Had like one of the greatest matches ever. And then he was the marked man all the way up to the Royal Rumble, where he was just fucking up everyone's matches and stunning them. People loved him already.
But which heart
That's
was
a
the
bonus.
one?
That's,
What,
and,
That's
like,
a bonus.
That's where it starts to like, because it's the Royal Rumble. That's where.
And then he beat Shawn Michaels in WrestleMania.
But that's where he slaps McMahon.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
'Cause Vince McMahon didn't want
He slaps the shit out of him.
as their heavyweight champion. Because, like the symbol of the champion would be like bad,
Sure.
and that's where things start going
Anti-hero.
crazy.
Yep.
And just like Nisa said, dude, when The Rock comes on, he's got Vince's backing.
But which
But,
heart?
like it's like Vince is like this like weird like he's almost like kind of like a weird.
He definitely makes it way better.
villain
Which heart-
That's like always in the background.
Which heart was the
The
one that?
super villain.
Which
Yeah,
heart?
Vince
like a
McMahon
Thanos
is
or some
Illuminati.
Okay, question. Which heart was the one that did something to Stone Cold where he actually broke his neck?
Owen Hart.
Kevin.
Owen.
Pile
It was
driver.
Owens.
Kevin.
Yeah, as a pile driver.
Kevin.
Yeah. No, dude, it was like a weird.
He broke his neck.
Yeah, hit him with a pile driver.
It was a pile driver.
It was Kevin Hart. My bad.
Which one was Kevin Hart?
Stupid song about it.
You know, the comedian.
Gotcha.
No, that was. I think Owen accidentally
Yeah.
fucked Stone Cold up.
It was
and
this
messed his neck
weird.
up.
It was this weird tombstone.
Set it, yeah, it was like a
Pile driver
tombstone
thing.
type.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because like it was like a pile driver, but it was like the wrong way. It was like in the face of a tombstone. but it
Damn,
still
He
was
couldn't.
dropped off
He
the
couldn't.
ground.
Tuck his
your-
head either.
Yeah.
The head isn't supposed to hit the mat first. Your knees, like when
Yeah.
you do the pedigree or any of that, like
Yeah.
his knees are supposed to hit the mat before the
Yeah.
the face doesn't actually touch the mat.
Right.
And Stone Cold actually got fucked up. And
He
then
did.
and then who killed Owen Hart? What was that? Was it Stone Cold?
Arguably
Technically,
Vince.
Vince McMahon or Russo. Vince Russo.
Sting.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was like,
No, they just got some cheap ass like little carabiner or whatever, and it snapped.
Yeah, they don't want to. Vince is in all of his infinite wisdom didn't want to fork out for like a real team, so they just had like I don't know, like stage handlers or something on scene.
Wasn't a
and
real stunt
obviously
team.
nobody knew what to do.
He died in the ring, didn't he?
Yeah.
He fell from the
Live.
Yep.
He died in the ring
Yep.
on live television.
Well, they cut away.
Yeah, you can't get the footage. You can't get the
But all
footage
those,
anyway.
but all those people that were there that witnessed it.
Oh yeah, everybody saw it.
Fucked up way.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. So one of the
There was like an
stories
imprint of his fucking body in the mat still, and
So one
blood
of
and
the-
shit. And they kept the pay-per-view going.
Yeah, so one of like the worst horrible stories about that is JR, Jim Ross, good old JR, was like, everybody's like good friends.
Yeah.
And so when Owen Hart actually officially passed or whatever, they're like, they were panning around the crowd and like the people in production, they're like, all right, we have to go on. And then they literally looked at JR, who's a very good friend of Owen Hart, and goes, Owen Hart's dead and you need to announce it in 3, 2,
Had to get himself
1.
together.
I would say, kiss
Go.
my ass, motherfucker.
And you could tell King was just, he couldn't say anything. He was just sitting there.
Yeah.
But you know,
He didn't say a word.
but you know what's crazy? The fact that Brett still continued to work for that man. As me, if that was my brother, I'm just gonna throw this out. If that was my brother, I don't care what I'm walking.
no,
I
I
can't
think
do it. I couldn't do it.
I'm pretty sure Brett was already WCW by then.
That was right around,
Well, still, well,
True.
okay, but WCW was bought out by Vince and him, and he still showed up. Bret Hart appeared on WWF,
And then
It was
Well-
tough for him to keep appearing, though, because
Yes,
he got
how?
concussed by Bill
I
Goldberg.
think,
That's
yeah,
what
I'm
ended his
saying,
career.
I think when the invasion happened, the WCW invasion, Bret Hart was already gone because Bret Hart was not in the WWE.
They kicked to the back of the head or the forehead.
No,
one of-
I think whatever the one where Bill Goldberg
Yeah.
concussed him.
Yeah.
I think that,
That
happened
ended
and then
his
Bret
career.
retired.
I still
Yep.
think Bill Goldberg
because
was one of the strongest.
yeah, that's so by the time the buyout happened or whatever, Bret Hart was already out of the.
Do you guys-
he really
Mhm.
went back to the WWF?
Do you guys
except to
remember-
be inducted into the Hall of Fame?
Do you guys
Right.
remember Goldberg's first appearance in WWE when The Rock was out there talking smack?
I did everything! Everything you ever asked! I know you did. I executed the plan! As you saw it. You promised that we would change the world together.
And everybody, and you know what I loved about Goldberg's entrance? They didn't do it with no other wrestler. It was the Goldberg, and he would just come out of nowhere. He's like, "Who's next, Rock? You're next," and he just speared his ass right on his little. Because the Rock had, what was that thing he had? That little singing
rock bottom.
guitar shit. What was that? What was it? It was like it was called something though. It was like
Since
the Rock.
that was a
baby
big shit.
left him.
And Bill
Or
Goldberg just
right at the end of Jabroni Drive.
but let me ask you guys a question.
Smackdown Hotel.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen any other wrestler like Goldberg? Goldberg was just ferocious. Like he was unstoppable.
His
bro.
mic skills were so trash.
Yep.
Okay, but his
And he was actually not that
performance-
good.
Mike
in the ring,
skills are
bro.
important.
Right, but his performance outweighed all that other.
I will give Jay this. That
He was strong as
probably
fuck.
don't get me wrong. It's not like he's the most agile or crazy wrestler. He's kind of a brute force.
Right.
But at the same time, dude, that was probably one of the most amazing pushes.
His
of
undefeated
all time.
streak.
Yeah, how
Dude.
Goldberg became Goldberg is probably
Wasn't he in a movie?
He wasn't.
yes. Universal Soldier: The Return. It is a
With
terrible,
Van Damme.
great.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
And he missed the spear and Van Damme.
He's also
longest yard.
Yeah. Oh, boom.
Okay,
That's right. Wow.
But here's the. but
And he
here's
actually
the-
did better than that
real,
one.
real quick though, they did the undefeated streak with Tatanka too, if you remember that.
I do remember the craziest things when he went up. Dude, my mind always goes to when he wrestled the Giant Gonzalez, and I was like, how is he gonna do this? How is this gonna? And then they count out Giant Gonzalez, and so he wins by DQ. I was like, that is the greatest fucking shit.
Okay, but Goldberg was the only wrestler that was really out there. He would fight. Remember when Evolution was beefing with him? You had Randy Orton, Ric Flair, and Triple H. Goldberg would run in and he would double clothesline people, and he would just annihilate people.
Yeah, that was kind of a shit.
Goldberg
He
was
did.
just an animal.
He could not wrestle for more than
Do you
2.5
guys remember
minutes.
his spears?
Yes.
His
That
spears
too.
were scary, bro. The way he hit people.
Yeah.
So if you like spearing, and I know someone said they weren't a big fan of Edge. He had a pretty dope spear.
And
But
he
it
could
wasn't
wrestle
as
his
powerful
ass
as
off.
Goldberg's.
I would do. I mean, if we're talking like brutality, man, we got to give props to our boy Rhino. That fool.
Rhino.
The gore.
Oof.
What happened to Rhino?
He went to
He had quite the legendary. I think
He was
ECW?
WCW originally.
ECW.
he went to
ECW.
ECW.
Well, Van Damme and him.
Well, no, he was in ECW, and then he came to WWF through the Invasion, stuck around that, and I think ended in either TNA. Maybe?
Tits and ass, yeah, tits and ass.
Yeah.
They
He
said
has
him
something
and
to do
Vince.
with
They
tits and
said
ass
him
now.
and Vince
no,
had
no,
a
no,
problem.
the wrestling, the like fraction.
TNA. Yeah, he has something to do with it now.
They
No,
said him and
as in
Vince didn't
TNA
get along.
Impact.
Yeah, he has something to do with
They
it.
said him and
Okay.
Vince didn't like each other. They had
My
a
bad.
lot of. They had a lot
It's
of.
not following.
He's like an owner type thing. He's
Oh, I
like,
didn't know
He's
that.
got some
Oh.
stock in it.
But yeah, I think he just kind of, age got to him. I mean,
Kinda
when you-
old.
Yeah, when you wrestle like that, you're gonna have something messed up.
When I was a kid, I used to think Rob Van
And
Dam
no
was
health
related.
insurance.
Oh,
Yeah, but these guys were
we
making
could do
how
like
much
the
a
worst
show?
worst
$60?
injuries.
But look how healthy
No, it
he
was
always
okay.
is.
It was different for a lot of
Hardcore
people
king.
though.
Yeah.
Their
He's
pay
like-
scales were way different. He
Yeah.
pretty much just paid people per show
Yeah, no.
when he needed them.
If you were a star, you made quite a bit. Rob
If.
Van Dam on
$16.
the
If
So
If.
recently, yeah, you're talking more because like a lot of the stuff you're saying is like it's like new aggression type era. So a lot of the stuff you're saying was like things got a little better, but at the same time, I think to this day they're still listed as independent contractors, so Vince
Yeah,
McMahon doesn't have to shell out for
They
health
are.
insurance, and that's like been the
you are
problem.
correct.
But wasn't
And
that part of
that's-
their contract when they signed up? They knew that.
Yeah, no, they
Yeah,
did.
but like if you think about it, like
Yeah.
let's say you make like $1 million, right?
Sure.
Calm down.
And then you go to the hospital, right? Like how much? Like nobody here goes to the emergency room because like if I have a sliver in my finger, it's about $5,000. What are you gonna do when you go to the emergency room for a herniated disc and you can't get Medicaid because your pay scale is up there?
Mhm.
Like what do you think that is?
So
Like
you're
let's
out
go.
of pocket then.
Yeah, so you're out of pocket. Like let's say what?
There's a lot of injuries
$300,000?
too.
Right, so you're out of pocket $300,000.
Then you can't wrestle.
Your $1 million is $700,000. Now the thing about it is when you get this herniated disc and you're out for like 6 months, you lose your push, your popularity, your merchandise cut, yada yada yada.
That's why they
But
popped
the comebacks
pills
were the best.
and kept wrestling because they didn't have a choice really. If they wanted to keep making money and like you said, keep their push, they were out there fucked up.
But when they came back, when they had the comebacks, like we would just be in the middle of a match and then all of a sudden Stone Cold returns, that made more money. The crowds, everything. I mean, it would sell out, bro, and then made good pay-per-view events. The returns
Who's
were
getting
the
that
best.
money?
Okay, but dude.
Vince is not like here's $100,000 at the end.
So
of the
why
night.
did they spend years of working under the man if Vince was such a bad guy then?
He monopolized it.
Yeah, because
And he monopolized it.
yeah, because I mean, like, don't get, like, all right, so like when you look at a pay scale, so one of the deals that I always like come down to is like when Bret the Hitman Hart was like the guy, he signed his contract that he didn't even get filled through Vince McMahon at the time was. What was it? 10 years for $2 million, possibly more.
He was
than
the
that.
Iron Man too. He wrestled all the time, so he used his ass
So like,
up.
if you think about it, yeah, $2 million is decent, but 10
Over
years
10
of
years
$2
of
million.
whooping your ass.
Oh, and he's
$200,000.
wrestling once or twice a week,
Like,
all the time.
So you're saying that Vince McMahon now Vince McMahon is no longer the owner of WWE. So what you're saying is a lot, because I watched a lot of the documentaries. This is
Dana
what I want
White.
to say. They all said Vince McMahon was like a predator.
He's
would
kind of
use
like the
them.
devil.
That's what they said. That's actually what Stone Cold said.
So from like 82 to like 97 or 98, Bret Hart was wrestling nonstop. They were going like 300 days out of the year.
And always on the road. So were
Always.
they paying for their own hotels, everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were driving their own cars.
So WWE wasn't covering anything?
Nah, he just paid him what he wanted to pay him. They had to do.
So quick question. How,
They had to
is
spend
this
it,
a fact, or is this
wisely.
Yeah.
Is this a fact?
So there are like cases like if you like, all right, so like it's I believe it's the Undertaker. Undertaker got obviously a lot of money. Like Hulk Hogan got a lot of money or something like stuff like
It's
that. But,
different
like,
for the stars.
So but even so, like Undertaker still had to negotiate not only good pay, but he had to negotiate his travel expenses and something else, maybe health insurance or something like that. But he had to like negotiate those aggressively into his contract. This is the Undertaker. This is the greatest gimmick of all time.
Best
The
gimmick
most
ever.
protected gimmick.
King
That's
of
WrestleMania
WrestleMania.
champ.
I mean, like Triple H, obviously same thing, but he's banging,
What is your daughter?
So that means the wrestling was just saying pretty much what you're saying is they were saying we're gonna give you this much money and that's that. There's no benefits. There's no health insurance.
Spend it how you want.
Yeah, that's why.
So that's like me being a subcontractor and coming to do this house right now.
Exactly.
Okay, but at the end of the day, you still know what you're signing up for.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
That was a big draw of AEW was that they offered health insurance to wrestlers.
But
see,
also,
if McMahon was making that type of money, why not cover the guys like?
Because he's the devil.
That's why. It's like when you have like the golden era, like this. I mean, like don't get me wrong, dude. These are mine and his is like childhood heroes.
Yeah, we didn't even get into the golden era yet.
But like when you are looking at that, like dude, like for the golden era or something like that, Vince is like turning a blind eye and or like off the record, like telling these guys to like do steroids. Like all these guys are like on massive amounts
Vince
of steroids.
was on steroids.
Yeah, exactly. So like the
He also
reason
wore
that the
do-rags.
steroid trial was like kind of going through.
You didn't even bring up Billy Jack Haynes either. We didn't even get
Quick
to that.
question: how old are you guys?
34.
No,
us two? 37.
I can't say that on air.
Okay, but we grew up. I'm about to be 33. We grew up in the same era. We watched the same stuff.
I still.
yes, don't get me wrong. Like so, you're. In
I
our-
still know the really old shit too.
Yeah,
though.
but you're
Like what?
Like the golden era. But like so, like the thing is, like you're in our era. Like our year difference is, you come in towards the beginning of the new aggression era. We fade out at the end of the attitude era.
Mm-hmm.
Like attitude era. Like don't get me wrong. You
Just
like
within
dipping
2 years.
into like a lot of attitude era stuff, but a lot of the stuff you're saying is like new aggression era.
Okay.
And
So when I came in like with the Hardy Boys.
Hardy Boys, yes, but like when you like speak of like stuff like Evolution,
Okay, yeah, right. Evolution, obviously.
Stuff like
yeah.
that.
But I'm saying I grew up. So when I started watching wrestling was with the Dudley Boys. Okay, the Dudley Boys were champions.
Yeah, attitude
And
era into the new
right. And I
aggression.
remember being a kid watching WCW
That's
and
the ass
Dave
end.
and do all that. But what I'm saying is, what's crazy about it is all these like Stone Cold, The Rock, Triple H, Undertaker, Kane, even like DX, like they were so big. It's hard for me to understand. Like, okay, if Vince McMahon was such a bad guy, why did they just keep wrestling? I mean, at that time there was no other like big.
So if you
wrestling
bring it back to like I said, when he was monopolizing shit and he took over every territory, as much money as he was making, he could still pay them way more than what they were making because it was just different
Okay, I get
regional
what you're saying.
promotions. So they thought they were fucking.
But isn't
rich,
that every
rich going
isn't
into
that
the
every
WWF.
company in the United States?
They
that does
thought they
that?
were rich.
Yes, but at the same time, when the product is throwing your
body, bro.
Like that's
We're
like
watching
kinda,
football players make millions.
Yeah,
and they got $10,000.
Like think about it, imagine, dude, just like what I said, $2 million for 10 years for Bret the Hitman Hart when he was the top guy. So when he, would you imagine? I don't think actually now that I think about that. That is actually legal in the NFL to sign up for 10 years at $2 million. I don't think that would make the minimum league requirement.
That's close to what, almost $200,000 a year.
Yeah, so I don't think that's actually legal in the NFL right now.
No.
So when you think about it that way, that's like the top guy. Like, don't get me wrong, $1 million a year is like awesome. But when you can do it for like 15 years, that's great if you're lucky.
If you can do it.
Yeah, and that's like if you stay the number one.
If you're mankind.
So like there's like a lot of if, ands, or buts around it. But then you get to the end of life and it's like literally like when you quit, you walk out with your, not totally $15 million because you still have to pay your independent contractor taxes and stuff like that. So we'll like just cut it and say like what, like, I don't know, $13 million.
You got Michael J. Fox disease.
Yeah, and then like, but you can't walk.
Who did their uniforms though? Like, did they have?
They
their
did.
own?
Their girlfriends and them.
Yeah.
They did.
Look how awful the Undertaker looked for years.
Bro.
The black and gray I loved still.
So they were paying people out of pocket
Still
for
love
that too.
Or hopefully you had a
Like,
roadie or you
I'm
could
sure
do it
there's
yourself.
like a lot of like tax write-off that they could probably squeeze in there or something like that,
Who
dude.
knew
But it
that
was just
in
like
the
literally
90s?
like,
They do a lot of.
Wow,
people.
Vince is a real piece of shit. Now,
yeah, dude.
Because nobody's ever broke it down like this.
So
Vince is a.
So like I was saying though,
monster.
so when he monopolized it, he also took hella people like out of jobs too.
Yeah.
He only took the best ones.
And
So like now your shit's just over.
So like and like the thing about it is like the territories like that burned me is like he took the best of the best. Right now, all these guys were very well respected in their territories.
Von Erichs.
And he like literally.
We should name some of these names.
Yeah, all right, the Von Erichs, the Red Rooster.
Anybody
before
from
he
the
was Red
Canadians.
Rooster.
When they brought in Roddy Piper to be the first feud for Hogan in
What was that one
WrestleMania.
guy Hawking?
Hawking Animal.
Legion of Doom.
Yep.
They were Road Warriors 2 LOD. I mean, I will give you that though.
Jimmy
they were
Snuka.
always really
Jake the Snake.
treated with
Jake the
respect.
Snake. Mr. Perfect.
Andre the Giant.
Yeah, Kurt Hennig.
Andre the Giant.
was
Yeah.
the-
Fast Andre.
Yeah, all-
Junk-
Him and Hulk Hogan was
Junkyard
like the
Dog.
biggest.
Yeah, well, like so Andre the Giant was crazy, dude. It's like back then, like this is like people really underestimate Andre the Giant's like fame because back then, so there were territories. You were like locked into like whatever territory you wrestled. Andre the Giant,
Except for him.
yeah, traveled
all of them.
everywhere, and he fought their top guy in every promotion. It was like I win. Do you understand? I win.
Did you
And
know
he's,
that
like,
guy?
huge.
Did you know that guy would drink like
A barrel?
like they said like
Oh
100
yeah, the
beers?
documentary is
And what's
crazy.
craziest thing I ever heard about Andre was he had 4 girls out of his hotel, right? And his hands were so big. They said that he like laid them on the bed and was fingering them all at the same time.
I believe it.
That's a fact. They said his
Holy
hands were so big that he was like this.
I believe that.
Rock and roll, baby.
And it was the manager. The manager.
Yeah,
Dude, they said he was so big, and the thing is, they said he would drink like 2 bottles of whiskey, and he would slam like 40.
Well,
beers.
he had that disease. His organs in certain parts of his body, even for as big as he was, were still abnormal. So even though he was like 500 pounds and like 7'4", 7'5", like his hands were still abnormally large, even for his size.
And that's what they said. That's how he was doing that with them chicks, and I was like, wow, what a
I mean,
man.
dude, this is like how, like this is a good way to put it in perspective, dude. Like Jake the Snake Robert tells a story about how he, because back they had to drive themselves, so Andre was hitching a ride with Jake the Snake, so he like pulled over, grabbed them both like a 24 pack, right?
Those two together,
So,
well,
yeah, so they're cruising down the
a lot of
road like, with
drinking.
the 24 pack, and like Jake's on like his like whatever 3rd, 4th beer, and he like yells back to Andre, he's like, "How many beers you got left?" Or "How you doing back there?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm all done." And it's like, now when you think about that, he has a 24-pack of beers amount of liquid in his body.
he didn't even have to
Who cares
take a
if
piss.
He's drunk. There is just a 24-pack of liquor,
Yeah.
like fluid, in this man's body. How big is that fucking bladder?
Yeah. It's not even fair.
It's enough for a keg.
Yeah.
It's not even
downstairs bathroom.
fair.
That's a kegger.
Bathroom's
And people,
downstairs.
people tried to drink with him all the time.
All the time, dude. Dude, like, there's like...
They get like 6-7 beers deep, and they're like, God.
Yeah, dude. Dude, there's like a story of like Andre the Giant. He passed out in like a hotel, and he's so big. Like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna pick him up? Hey, Mike, help me pick this guy up.
7 of us
okay.
could maybe do it.
Yeah, maybe
7?
7?
Dude, so they roped off his
It's like
body.
100 pounds per
Or like
guy.
they just like velvet roped off his like body and just left him in the middle of the fucking hotel lobby for like the night.
Hey,
Like imagine
somebody get
walking,
this guy a blanket.
Dude, imagine walking
Get him
into
5.
like
6.
Yeah, like imagine like walking into like a hotel you're just randomly like you have no business like with wrestling or anything, right? And you just walk over and there's Andre the Giant roped off just
You would know it's him.
He just wakes up. Does anybody want a peanut?
There's a sign that says, "Warning: Andre Giant sleeping. Don't wake.
yeah, right?
Do not wake the giant.
Do not wake.
Do not feed the giant. If the giant asks you for liquor, politely say no.
We're out because of the giant.
Sold out of everything.
You're sold
He's
out.
like snoring and like the windows are vibrating.
Fucking Snorlax over here.
Is that a train coming?
Like dude, that's the other thing. Is like imagine if he cracked off like a really good fucking wet one. Just
God
Oh,
damn.
awful.
dude,
That's
Awful.
that's
huge,
mustard
dude.
gas.
He's definitely spraying something out of his ass. That's gross. That's gross.
I mean, he drank almost 300 ounces of beer
Jesus.
Oh yeah, dude.
in one
well,
sitting.
That's not a shart. That's more of a squirt.
300
Well,
ounces.
dude, there are kind of like a few stories of like him like sharting on people. Like he like shit on Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan like tells a story.
Dude, tell it from yeah.
All right.
You gotta tell the story.
So Hulk Hogan tells a story, dude. So like Andre the Giant back in the day was like huge on like keeping like your gimmick. So if you're a heel, you stay a heel even in public. So
Oh yeah.
Hulk Hogan at the time was like a heel, and he was like flirting with like a couple stewardess or something like that, a couple ladies, and he was like being friendly. And Andre the Giant's like, "You're a heel. You're not supposed to be doing that. What the fuck?" So Hulk Hogan invites them to like the wrestling match or whatever, and lo and behold, Andre the Giant knows this. So when they're like sitting at ringside and it's him and like Hulk Hogan wrestling, Andre the Giant gets pissed and starts taking it out on him, like, you broke character. So he starts throwing Hulk Hogan around. Hulk Hogan's this like huge fucking guy, dude, and like Andre the Giant's throwing him around so bad, there's like nothing he could fucking do about it. So like as he like ragdolls him like around for like a few minutes, he like throws him into the corner, and he fucking like holds him in the corner like backwards, like back right, and he fucking takes his thumb and like jams it in his fucking butthole. It's like, wow, Hulk Hogan, dude, this is like 26-inch pythons, just fucking boom, right up there.
Now you know what the girls felt like.
Right?
Yeah,
Bro,
bro.
just
Andre the
bang,
Giant's thumb.
Like, who knows how far he got it in there.
Oh my god.
But dude, just
This
like
is
the
true
fact-
story?
Yes.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan told this story.
Yeah.
So he like jams it up there, right, and fucking.
He busted Hulk Hogan wide open.
Somebody get the Narcan.
Somebody get the Narcan.
Stop the damn match. Fuck off.
It's gaping.
But dude, so no, it doesn't end there though. It doesn't end there. So like he fucking does that, right, and then he like fucking throws Hogan down, like, and then like sits on him and like shits on him. And then he fucking like screams out, "Is he beautiful now, ladies?"
So, one thing I wanted to bring up.
Oh my God!
One thing I wanted to bring up was I told some of the guys, I said, I ain't bought a wrestling game in a while, and I bought the new WWE 2K23, and I unlocked all these legends, right? But here's what killed me. So I'm looking for Chris Benoit. I can't find him.
Yeah, that's
hold
gonna
on,
be
wait.
tough.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Is he a ghost?
So let me finish. So I go. So I started doing some research online. They said they didn't want to put him in the game because of the cruel and whatever.
Yeah.
But you still can't erase him out of that era, and that's what they're trying to do.
Oh yeah.
Chris Benoit was one of the most vicious.
Technical.
Yeah,
I mean,
he was
what
a
they
beast.
used to call him?
The Wolverine.
The Wolverine.
He was a beast.
I don't know.
Dude,
Ask
he
his family.
athletically. Well, I understand that, but we're talking about his career. His career. And everybody knew he was on steroids. You could just look at Chris Benoit.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That nigga had a neck on top of his neck.
Yeah. It was like just.
I think it was just like.
That's
he
why
didn't
I was
have
gonna
no
do a
fucking-
dream match because they're very similar in
shoulders,
build
nigga.
and the way they like athletically. Dynamite Kid, back when he was with the British Bulldogs, and Chris Benoit.
Okay.
That'd be a dope. That'd be a dope match.
Wow.
Chris Benoit might lose.
Oh, dude,
That'd be a dope match.
Yeah, dude, you're onto something.
Benoit might lose.
That'd be pretty damn good.
It was me, Dynamite Kid, and British Bulldogs. We were blazing that shit up.
Sloan Kettering.
Sound like something that,
Right, that's what I thought.
that totally
They
does
were.
sound like something like Dave Chappelle would write into a movie. doesn't it?
Sloan Kettering.
So does anybody watch any of the new guys?
Fuck me.
I
Seth
kind-
Rollins or
So I just kind of like keep up with it. I don't like religiously watch it. I just kind of keep tabs because it's like it's so ingrained in my childhood. I can't 100% guilt-free let it go. But
That's why you got to get on
But
the
you
podcast.
got guys like you still got Kurt Angle as a GM. You got Kane as like some kind of manager.
I seen they do like some kind of draft type
Shawn
shit.
Michaels is
Yes,
helping
it's
with
weird.
the
Shawn-
talent.
I've never
Triple H is
And
like COO.
I think Dean Malenko too.
yeah, and then Undertaker like officially retired not too long ago. But him and Goldberg had like one of the worst matches like ever.
Has anybody watched Stone Cold's their Broken Skull podcast?
I've watched a few
yeah.
things.
He brings on the old school wrestlers.
Yeah.
There's some other really good podcasts too. If you're trying to, especially like, if you don't know the old school shit that well, Something to Wrestle With is dope as fuck.
A-lister.
Grilling with JR, that's Jim Ross's.
A-lister.
And then Eric Bischoff. No, is it Bischoff? I think Eric Bischoff has one.
Yes, he does.
Is that 83 weeks?
Does anybody know why JR was so close with Stone Cold? I remember Rikishi attacked him, and Stone Cold went ape shit and was trying to come after him. Remember that? Remember when Kane lit JR on fire?
Oh, whoa.
You remember that episode?
No,
When
I do
Kane
not.
lit him on fire, he poured the gasoline and he threw the match on him.
Yep.
And Stone Cold just went ballistic. Like Stone Cold was always defending JR. Like
He almost lit you on fire, JR.
And he did light him on fire.
They went perfect together though.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, why were they such like good friends? Like
'Cause
he
they-
was from Oklahoma, he was from Texas.
They got that
They
Texas
had-
arcade.
They just
They understand the business.
Yeah.
they just grew together. I think. I think JR just took a liking to certain people. You know what I'm saying?
Cold has been around since
Yeah,
hair.
and on
The
top
Hollywood
of that
Blondes.
too.
Yeah.
I don't think any
Hollywood
other wrestler
Blondes.
punched Vince before Stone Cold. I think Stone Cold.
Because we haven't
Bret
talked
Hart
about Brian.
Bret Hart did.
We haven't talked about Brian
Spit in his
Pillman
face.
yet.
Oh, dude.
And there was
RIP.
so much on him. There was a 2-part episode on Dark Side of the Ring.
Dude,
So
you're talking about the biggest, like, man, oh man, like that, like Brian Pillman ties back into that injury thing that we're talking about. Like Brian Pillman got into a car accident and destroyed his foot. What was his ankle or something like that? And he didn't get any time to really heal, so he was like wrestling on like a destroyed ankle, and like man, like it eventually led to like a pill addiction, you know, painkillers.
well, we could bring up
and then
Magnum TA, his accident, or Texas Tornado.
Texas Tornado. Oh,
He was wrestling with a prosthetic foot.
Yep.
Because he got his foot amputated after a motorcycle accident.
You know what just popped in my head? Who was the guy that was the Japanese guy and he did the martial arts, but he would spit that maze in your face?
There's a few. Are you talking about?
Tajiri?
Yeah, Tajiri's the Japanese buzzsaw.
He just like disappeared out, and he was so cool to watch.
He's I think he's still in New Japan Pro Wrestling or something like that. He's like kind of like a manager. I think.
He was cool
But
to
he
watch
was-
though.
Dude, I loved the Japanese
I loved it.
buzzsaw. Man,
remember
that
the
fight was-
ladder match when he climbed up and he went between, I think it was Edge's legs, and he went and he hit the guy in the face. And he just
You know who did it first though is Great Muta.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
And going back to Sting, that was like one of the best pay-per-views when WCW first started. After they took it over from Jim Crockett, when it was Crockett Promotions. That was one of the first pay-per-views. That was within like the first year of WCW.
Yeah.
And
'cause
Sting
they
and
had
Great
to battle
Muta killed it.
the Wrestle
Yeah, 'cause that
Rumbles,
was-
the Royal
Killed it.
Rumbles.
What was? Oh, dude, it escapes me. What was? Because I think Farouk was back then.
Yep.
He was like the champion back then.
Yep.
What was his gimmick?
He was the first
first
African American WCW
Yeah.
champion
All right,
too.
there you go.
Florida
Oh,
State.
No, because what about
Florida
Booker?
State.
Booker was 5-time WCW.
That was before.
Yeah.
This was
Farouk-
way. We're talking way back.
Domination before
We're talking
domination.
way
like,
before that.
So Farouk started
Like
out as
12
something
years
else.
before that.
Yeah, Farouk started out as he like dressed like kind of like a Spartan or something.
Hulk Hogan,
Trojan.
we coming
Ron
for you,
Simmons.
nigga.
Yeah,
Ron Simmons.
But he was like WCW, like an early WCW.
He was a
champion.
beast.
Him
Him and Natural Butch Reed,
yeah,
who
yeah.
also switched over to WWF, but they had a really dope tag team.
Yep. Yeah, dude, but yeah, because then after that, that's when he came over and like in his WWF run, he became Farouk, and the Nation of Domination happened. Then the super legendary run with APA, and then after that became the damn man.
Did you guys think? What did you guys think about the like Brothers of Destruction? I thought Kane and Undertaker were like amazing.
Oh yeah, I fucking loved it.
The Rockers
two
and
7-foot
Yeah.
fucking monsters in there, bro. I mean, I remember guys like jumping on their backs and they would just like flip them, get them like just like nothing. They would just throw them.
I like
Kane was like always that like.
I liked
Kane
the
was scary,
Rockers
bro.
though in Legion of Doom. If we're talking tag teams.
Yeah, most
Wait,
definitely.
didn't hold up? Didn't the Big Show and Triple H get a tag team title?
I think so.
Ooh,
Well, the Evolution.
They
I mean,
But they weren't.
no,
like,
it was Triple H and
partners
Austin
for
when
a
Austin
while, though.
sold out. When Austin sold out, him and Triple H were tag team partners for a while. Remember when everybody
Yeah.
hated Stone Cold?
Yeah, they had.
And he was wearing the
yeah.
white little braces.
Never
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. That's
Teams
right.
that have
Cold
been
sold
around
out.
though.
They were champions
Yeah, with the-
together for
yeah.
a while.
Teams that have
there's-
been around.
Yeah, they were like a tag team, but like true blue tag team. If we're talking like like LOD.
The Rockers,
Tag
LOD.
team, Yeah.
You
The
know what I
Hardys.
didn't know till maybe.
Hardys. I mean, even though they're not called a tag team, Edge and
Dudley
Christian,
Boys.
Dudley
Edge and
Boys, there you go.
Christian.
Probably one.
You know, I didn't know
LOD
till.
and Edge and Dudley Boys
We're a
probably
tag
all
team.
time.
Yeah.
I didn't know till like 6 months ago. Do you remember that group Too Cool? That was
Grandmaster Sexy and Scotty.
Did you know?
Scotty
Did you
Scotty,
know that
yeah.
Grandmaster Sexy was Jerry Lawler's son?
nephew.
No, it was his son, and he OD'd or something. That was his actual son, and I didn't know that till like a couple months back. Somebody was telling me, they were like, "Dude, that guy, that was Jerry Lawler's son." And then when I looked at a picture of them two side by side, I was like, "Dude, they're definitely related."
Kevin Nash's son passed too recently.
Yeah.
Diesel, remember Diesel? Oh.
Yes, that's Kevin Nash.
Yeah, because originally, Too Cool was actually billed as Brian Christopher. He was Jerry the King Lawler's nephew. That's how he was like originally gimmicked.
What happened to Taz? You guys remember Taz?
He got
He
injured.
was
and then became an announcer.
what was it? He was with Jerry
of
Lawler
injuries.
for a while. He did all the SmackDown events, and then sometimes he would wrestle, and then he just like disappeared.
A lot of injuries.
Well, yeah,
and he was one of mine. I'm Puerto Rican. Taz was one of the first Puerto Rican.
That suplex was dope.
Dude, the human suplex machine.
That shit
man,
was
dude.
dope.
He had that choke.
Yeah, the Tazmission.
Yeah,
dude. Now, when he was in ECW, dude, he was the fucking man.
People forget though, Bam Bam Bigelow was the first or one of the first ECW champs though.
He was the most tatted motherfucker too.
Because he was over there when it was like first getting started, like 93, 94-ish.
With the fucking barbed wire.
If you remember, he was in and out of WWF a lot because he was there in the golden era. And then kind of didn't show up again until the new gen.
Yeah.
Because he was wrestling in Japan and for ECW.
What happened to Bam
Yeah,
Bam?
because he passed away.
Yeah. R.I.P.
Oh, dude.
R.I.P.
When we
But no,
graduated.
I'm trying to think of his name.
What was that one dude? Vader.
But the first
R.I.P.
First ECW champion. Fuck, I can't remember his name. He's like.
I
big,
think
dude.
Bam Bam was the first ECW champion.
I can't think of his name. You know him. It's just like he has
Mankind.
Sabu?
No, somebody before. He just has like kind of like a plain type name.
Mick Foley.
No.
Big Foley.
That's Mankind.
I know.
I love Big Foley, bro. Dude, love.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
ECW though?
Yeah, look.
ECW?
Oh yeah.
I don't remember him being at
Snooker?
ECW.
1992. Wow, we just don't learn something.
I was a year old.
Because Bam Bam was in 93 then when he did it.
Yeah, because
Pretty sure.
But
You know, I felt
Shane Douglas. That's who I'm thinking of. Remember Shane Douglas?
Yeah.
That's who I came in on ECW.
He was around in the golden era too, but he was
Yeah.
more of like a jobber.
That's what I'm
What
saying.
fucking
he
match
blew
was
up
that?
big in
Jobber.
ECW. It was Shane, like, because he, after that,
It took him a while.
yeah, Jimmy Snuka. So the Sandman. Oh yeah, obviously.
So what do you guys think about?
Dude,
What do you guys think about Brock?
Tito Santana's in there.
Tito, he's been around.
Tito Santana.
So it was him and Bret Hart that were in the top 5 for most wins ever.
Who was the other Rey Mysterio guy back then in ECW?
Ultimo Dragon.
Ultimo
He was
Dragon.
a beast.
That, yeah.
He was a beast.
I mean, there's Ultimo Dragon. They were super crazy.
Psychosis.
I knew you'd
Yep.
remember.
Billy Kidman.
I'm just impressed that you guys know all these motherfuckers.
Exactly.
Really
And I'm like, and that's what I'm saying. I'm like, I started watching WWF, and these guys are like 4 years older than me. They're talking about stuff like from
If you really
1988 SummerSlam.
To be honest, I absolutely despise talking about wrestling, but all these guys wanted to do it, so I was like, fine, let's just fucking do it.
But let me ask you a question. What do you despise about it?
So I used to watch it. I'm not a big enough fan to sit around and discuss it like that.
Was it because you knew it was like fake or?
I mean, yeah, that's not. I think part of it. I
Ready
knew
to
it was
rumble.
fake all
No,
along.
we're asking him.
So it's not like I thought it was real and I thought it was fake, and I'm like, fuck this. It's not like Santa Claus, right? So
it's just entertainment.
yeah, it's just entertainment, and I knew it from the beginning, and I enjoyed it for a minute. But I didn't get that vested into it.
Where did you stop watching that? Like what time?
Degeneration X.
Attitude Era.
Yeah.
So after the Attitude Era?
Yeah, I'd say like right around like the end of the Attitude Era.
Thank you for listening to this episode. If you or your company are looking to jump into the podcast world, now is the time. The Plug Agency is here to connect you to the full power of podcasting. You just record and leave the rest to us. The people are listening and want to hear from you. theplug-agency.com. That's theplug-agency.com. Click the link in the episode description for an exclusive offer.